guys, my name is Mbo and welcome to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the family. If you have not yet joined the family, please do so by clicking on the subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, as always, I'm very happy to have you here. Today, I have a video that I've been meaning to do for a long time, you guys. I remember I asked you guys these questions on my Instagram a long time ago, but finally the video is here. So I'm going to be looking down here because I have your questions here with me. So I asked you guys, so before I even go into the video, it's going to be like a uni questionnaire, just like my university experience in general. So a couple of you guys sent me some questions and I'm just going to answer those questions in this video. The first question I got, well, it just says friends. So I guess that's on how friendships work in uni, I suppose. But I'd say for me, it was very much similar to high school, where you kind of like hang out with the people who you have similar interests with, I guess, and then you just kind of like go from there. I think for me, a huge determining factor for the people I made friends with was the country where I came from. So most of the time, if I was to be friends with someone in my class, it would be someone from my country, someone from Zim, because I was in school in South Africa. So someone from Zimbabwe, because it was just easier to relate with them on a lot of things, because we're from the same country and we were kind of going through the same experiences, being in a new country altogether and all of that. So and I also stayed in Rio, so it was much easier to also make friends there. But yeah, that's what I can say about friends. It's very much similar to high school. This person asked on time management. Okay, so with this one, I just had to learn as I went. Like with time, my time management got better. In the beginning, I swear, like, it was so different from high school. You get to school, you're not even like expected to go for your lectures. You're not expected to you're just expected to live your life and just pass. Like that's the bare minimum. Like you're literally expected to do the bare minimum in the beginning. So for me in first year, like, I had so much time. I used to sleep a lot. I just never used to do much there as far as time management goes. And I had a lot of time to study and all of that. But then, like, as time went on, as the workload got more and I was now starting to do more things, like going to the gym, I had more work. We had more practicals and stuff like that. I definitely had to now learn to manage my time, and also like time to spend with your friends, going out and all of that. So I had to learn to manage my time. And I think one of the things that really helps was just like planning out my stuff in order of priority. Like, so if I had an assignment, obviously that would be at the top of my priority. So basically, I'll just write down all the stuff that I had to do in order of priority, and I allocated my time according to how long whatever task I had to do was going to take me. And that ensured that I was able to do a lot more stuff with my time, instead of just like kind of like going with the flow and seeing how things went. So I'll definitely say planning out your stuff, prioritizing stuff in your to-do list is very important in order to manage your time. But also just do what works for you. So try out different things. Like, even if you go on YouTube, like, you can find videos on advice on time management and stuff. So try out different things until you find out what works best for you, especially if you're still in your first year. Okay, the next question is worst heartbreak relationship wise. I'm sorry, I cannot relate. So we're gonna swiftly move on. This next question says sharing bathrooms with girls. Okay, so for me this was very difficult because I stayed in Reyes. There was like 80 something girls in that race, and obviously we come from different families, we have different backgrounds, we're taught different things as we're growing up and all of that. So we definitely had to work together and like live together to find out what works for everyone and all of that. It never used to work. Bathrooms were always an issue in all of our race meetings and everything. But I think like with time, you just kind of, I don't know, you just do your best and hope that everyone does their best, even though they really don't. You just kind of, I don't know, like, there wasn't much you could do, because you cannot like be watching how everyone uses the bathroom and how everyone's hygiene is working and stuff like that. So you just had to work with what you have, clean for yourself, clean after yourself. I think for me, I just learned to do the best that I could personally, and then just trust that others were doing their best even though they were not. So I'll say it was very tough to adapt, but 4 years through, I managed. Also have to mention that the lady we had cleaning our rays, She really cleaned it really well, so that actually did help a lot. Like, you knew in the mornings your areas would always be clean, so I think that also helped with just like managing sharing the bathrooms. I knew like after Mama had cleaned, I knew like I could find a clean bathroom and all of that. So I started adjusting like how the times I showered and everything according to the times that she also cleaned. So that also really helped. Dating and relationship advice, I would I mean, if you feel like you're ready to date in uni, then I definitely do suggest that you go for it. I would definitely advise that you pray about it, because you can date the wrong person, chat. You can date the wrong person. But I would advise, yeah, definitely do pray about it before you date a person. Like, if you like them and everything, definitely do pray about it and see what God says about that relationship. But I mean, like, dating is cool and all of that. And if you date the right person, it can be a very beautiful experience. If you date the wrong person, though, child, you're gonna be crying. And also just make sure that you don't prioritize relationships over your schoolwork or just having fun in uni in general. Like, there's so much more you can do in uni, like with your friends and all of that, experiences that you can really, like, things you can experience, like traveling around, seeing whatever city you're staying in, and just like doing different things with different people, which might be difficult to do if you are in a relationship, chat. Not gonna lie, that's the only advice I got. Okay, so coping with peer pressure. Okay, so I think when you go to uni, if you haven't gone to uni yet or you're planning on going, just go with the mindset of you're your own person. You're coming from a home, one, like literally you're by yourself. Every decision you make is going to have an impact on your future. It's going to have an impact on your uni experience in general. So just for me, I found it very easy to cope with peer pressure, because from the very beginning, I made it very clear that I'm my own person. I make my own decisions. I'm going to go with what I want to go with. If I don't want to do something, I don't want to do it. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. Even if no one else wants to do it, I'm going to do it by myself. So I think just be your own person. Be fine with not having friends, and also be fine with having friends and still doing things by yourself. That's what I would advise about peer pressure. Like, I would just rather say, to be safe from the very beginning, don't ever open the door for peer pressure to actually be a thing. Let that not, like, people should just know that, like, for me, I'm very strong-willed, so I don't think I'll ever have someone tell me what to do. But in cases of not being strong-willed, I would say definitely do pray about it. Ask God to help you to be able to stand your ground and say no to certain things. If you're not for something, just learn to be able to say no to that thing and just, kind of like move on. If people are going to be like, okay, we're not going to be friends with you, we're not going to chill with you because you don't like this and that, that's fine. You'll meet people who like the same things as you. And I also think that, like, going back to the question of friends, it can happen that, like, you're friends with a certain group of people, they enjoy certain things that you don't enjoy. It's okay to have different groups of people you're friends with, or different people you're friends with, obviously, who like different things. Sometimes it can happen that you be with your best friend who you guys like everything, like you like the same things, so everything you do, you're like fine doing those things with each other, because it's not peer pressure, you just like the same things. But it usually doesn't always happen that way. So sometimes you have friends where, like, if I want to go study in the library, these are my friends. If I want to go out, these are my friends. If I want to go to the gym, these are my friends. If I just want to go and eat, these are my friends. So it's good to also know your friends, like what they like, so that you're not forced to do everything with one person, even the things that you don't like enjoy doing. So that's how I'd say deal with peer pressure. But from the beginning, cut it off. Make sure you're not even a vessel that receives peer pressure. Just make sure that, like, if you don't want to do something, say it from the beginning. State your boundaries so that you don't ever have problems. People saying, hey, you don't want to chill with us, you don't want to do this, just cut it off from the very beginning. Okay, so the next question is how to deal with mean or rude roommates. I never had a roommate. I had my own room when I was in uni, and that's just how most of Rhodes is built. But, like, I know that, like, other universities, they do share rooms and stuff. I really don't know how I would deal with a mean roommate, because me, I'm always ready to fight. Okay, not fight, but I just feel like if someone is mean or rude to me, child, you're gonna get that back. But that's not very godly. I think just, like, maybe talk to them and tell them you don't like some of the things that they do, and maybe you guys can get to a compromise. But if you can swap roommates, then by all means report them to whoever is in charge and just get a new roommate. Okay, so the next question is a study routine. I did not really, okay, so okay, I had study routines, but they were not always the same thing. Over the years, I changed study routines because I'm a person who really likes change. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. So I would change my study routine probably like every semester. So to be very honest with this whole study routine thing, for me, I was never like the person you would find doing like notes and all of that. Like I would write notes in class like if I needed them. But most of our notes were posted on our online portals and whatever. So I felt like if I already have the notes, why am I writing more notes? So I'll just use those notes and I'll just read over them. And also like let's say I have a test in a month's time. I felt like that was way too long for me to be reading and studying for a test that's in a month's time. So what I would do is I would wait for the week before and then I'll just start studying. It would be a lot of stuff, but then it also put me under pressure where I felt like I worked best. I think I didn't read like a month before as well because I knew my memory was not going to remember all of that stuff. I was not going to keep all of that stuff in my head. So it was pointless because by the time I reached maybe like 3 days before the test, I would have forgotten everything and it would be like studying from scratch again. But with other subjects like pharmacology, where I've been saying that subject was really hard for me and you had to commit the stuff to memory, I'll start reading like way before the test, the exam, whatever, and then I'll just keep on going through the notes every week, every other day or whatever, so that I could commit it to memory. So I feel like it's best if you know what kind of person you are. So is your memory good? Is your memory bad? Do you have like a good short-term memory and a bad long-term memory like me, or like a good short-term memory, bad short-term memory and a good long-term memory? Yeah, so just know how your mind works, how your brain works, and how you commit stuff to memory as well. And I think that would help you with your study routine. But in general, I didn't have a study routine. I studied when I felt like studying. If I didn't feel like studying, I didn't force it, because sometimes I'd force it and I would be on my phone the entire time but studying. So I would study when I had to, but in general, I hated school. Now I can safely, peacefully say that, knowing that I have my degree, but in general, I hated school. Okay, so what's the next question? The next question says your experiences in a foreign country and how they treated Zimbabweans, because SA is scary for foreigners. Um, okay, so first of all, SA was never really my first option for uni, but then I had to go there. Um, I think just living in Grahamstown made my experience so much better because it's a small town. We're far from almost everything and anything. So it was relatively safe. I never encountered anything terrible where I was like, oh my gosh, this happened to me. And as a foreigner in the country, things would get really tense, especially during the xenophobia attacks or like, just like any protest that would come about, because you would be worried about your life. And even if it was not like directly onto you, where like on campus, at roads and everything, it was like, when you see images and videos all over social media of what is going on in other places like Johannesburg or whatever, or like bigger cities, to your fellow Zimbabweans or fellow foreigners, it was very difficult. And I think for me, one of the most difficult experiences for me was that happening. You see, social media and everything, and it's like a big topic. Everyone is talking about it and everything. And then like you hear the comments that your fellow South Africans have to say, whether in the DH and raise or in class, what they have to say about foreigners and whatever. And like, just for me, it was that thing of they would say it to your face and they know you're not a South African, you're a foreigner. And, it's kind of like, oh, well, we don't blame you because, you're studying pharmacy, or like you're in my class. So you can't be the problem. But everybody else who's looking for a job, everyone else who's working, those are the problem. So that was very uncomfortable for me. Overall, my experience, for me, I was safe, I was fine and all of that, but it was it was definitely emotionally taxing when it came to, issues like xenophobia attacks and like the protests and everything. I always felt really unsafe during that time, but in general, it was okay. I think that answers all the questions you guys sent me. I hope this video was helpful for those who actually sent in questions. If you guys want to know more about like my experience in South Africa, in university and all of that, always feel free to come into my DMs in the comment section and all over my social media. I will always be very willing to help you guys with anything that you'd like to know. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.